It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
Oh, Mr. Shrews, I don't feel so good. Oh man, I don't want to go.
I don't want to go
wanna
either.
go.
Oh
Fuck.
boy.
So, all the news, there's just, man, so much.
Yeah.
Speaking of man, have you heard of a Spiderman?
Oh.
So, I don't know about you, but my damn timelines and threads on all of the sites that I go to, fucking, I'm just so sick of the fucking memery.
All the sites, all the fun jazz. I wonder what Reddit's like, 'cause I barely ever go there, so I wonder how much that's blown up. If Facebook is blown up as much as it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like Instagram, fucking Facebook.
Is Instagram doing it? I guess I don't follow that
Dude,
many people on Instagram to make it
everywhere.
worth it.
Well, my Instagram's pretty much just filled up of photographers, pop culture icons that I really like,
Yeah.
and cosplayers, just because I'm always looking for ideas for my next shoot and stuff like that. And yeah, so just so many. I'm so sick of looking at Tom Holland's goddamn face, just fading away. It's like, Sony, and it's really funny because everybody's blaming fucking Sony for this shit. Like,
Now, see,
you know this is Disney's fault. You know it is.
It's both. I would say it's both. One, it's Sony being greedy, and two, it's Disney being greedy.
Well, I
They
think
both
it's
want
Disney
a cut
being
of
greedy.
it. Well, no, because Disney. So, for people that haven't seen the internet in the last,
Yeah, we're still like walking around it because we just assume everybody's heard it.
Sony and Disney's MCU tie-in thing is possibly being canceled. It's not 100% confirmed yet.
They're still in negotiations.
They're still in negotiations, even though the internet says they're completely out of negotiations. They're still in there until
it's called clickbait.
Sony or Marvel comes out and says something. You can't really base your
Pretty much, I'm like, until Kevin Feige comes on a fucking panel and says, "Yeah, we're done."
Yeah.
I'm like, anything's possible.
I'm like, well, at D23, fuck Spider-Man.
Right? Yeah, that Dustin shit, he's a bitch.
Yeah,
Well-
man. It's one of those things though, because like Disney ponies up all the money to make the movies right now. The Spider-Man movies in the MCU. They pay all of the budget to make the movie.
Well, not all of it.
Yes,
but,
they do.
I mean, no, the whole thing is that they wanted to put more money into it. They
So
wanted to be like,
They wanted to go 50-50 on the production budget with Sony rather
Well,
than
what I-
doing 100% by themselves, because Sony gets 95% of the cut of the box office, where
Well,
Disney only got 5%.
the way I read it was that Disney wanted to put more money into it. Like, they wanted to be like,
They want more characters.
well, what I heard is that they wanted to spend more of the production value on it, like more of the money.
Right.
So then they could make Sony's money, the money that they had to give them for the rights and all that bullshit. For
Right.
the characters and stuff. They didn't want to pay them as much, so I believe their offer was that, hey, we'll pony up the dough, like we'll pay like 90% of the movie's budget, so we can pay you less. Which
Right.
I believe was the point. And then Sony was like, no, like, no,
Well,
no.
it is from this one here, because what it was is like, yeah, they wanted to go 50-50. Disney wants to go 50-50.
Because I read mine through Screen Rant,
Okay.
since all my shit
Yeah, I
pops
did
up
through
thanks to
Screen
you.
Rant, through Verge, and a bunch of
Yeah.
other ones too. And they're pretty much all saying about the same thing.
Yeah.
The 50-50 thing. What a lot of people are thinking is the 50-50 is like just the profits, and that's not the
Yeah,
case.
no.
A lot of people are like, of course Disney's being greedy. They want 50% of the profits. Well, Disney at the moment ponies up 100% of the production itself anyways. And they only take in 5% of the gross box office revenue. So it's
Which I would make the argument, like, I mean, yeah, 5% sucks, but I mean, I would like to know what the merchandising deal is on that.
They have 100% of the merchandising. They bought the Spider-Man merchandising rights back in 2011, dude.
Sony does or Disney?
Disney, because Sony was going bankrupt at the time, so they were selling off their shit. So
and
Disney bought
that's where
all
I'm
of
like,
that.
dude, that's where you got to be making your money. I understand that Spider-Man made a fucking bill, but like, I mean, $1 billion in the box office for Disney is absolutely dick. It's the merchant and Spider-Man merch, dude, is timeless.
Now, is that the first time a Spider-Man movie's broken a bill, though?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, you could probably argue with inflation and stuff. Spider-Man 2 probably could have done it.
Plus, you also have, like...
Maybe even Spider-Man 3.
Of course, most of the reason that movie broke that right there was because of the close tie-in with Endgame.
I would absolutely agree.
Completely. Yeah. There's no way that movie would have made that much without any of the Endgame tie-in shit.
You know,
no matter how much I liked it, so
the fucking record-breaking Tuesday, like, get the fuck out of here with that.
And they put it out on a Tuesday just to make the record-breaking
so fucking
thing.
funny. You know they did that. Goddamn. Who releases a movie on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
So stupid.
The dudes from Screen Rant, I think it's Ryan George is his name, that does the pitch meeting videos.
Yeah, which fuck you, by the way. You were right. You were 100% right, dude. Those are fucking hilarious.
Those are addictive.
They're so good.
He did one for Far From Home, and like he's like, and we'll release it on Tuesday so we can break some records. It's fucking hilarious.
I like that. So great.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I mean, how do you? I mean, obviously, who cares who's being the dickhead in this thing? Because,
right.
I mean, let's be
honestly,
fair.
the fans are the only ones that might suffer, or it might be better. You never know.
Dude, Sony can't make a fucking movie. Like, everybody's like, oh, but Spider-Verse.
So,
I'm like, it's totally because that movie went under the studio's radar. It's just like, those guys were working on their thing, and, you know, they got everything they wanted, and then they fucking nailed it. It's like, yeah, but, I mean, look at Venom, Spider-Man 3. I mean...
That was another thing, too. And it's a whole nother... You're talking about Venom with
Tom Hardy.
What
even just
Feige
the two
wanted,
Amazing Spider-Mans.
Feige was putting out a thing that he wanted to try and do like a soft reboot of Venom into the MCU. So using what they've already done, but bring him into the MCU, along with like a ton of other Sony licensed, I'm not even going to say owned because they just licensed the shit, Sony licensed characters. And I think that's another reason why Sony was like, no. Because then they would be taking 50%
they got all their
of the
games
cut
and
of that.
shit.
Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, at least the video games do well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Sony fucking destroyed with Spider-Man on the PS4. And from what I've heard, I haven't gotten to play it yet. I've heard that's one of the best fucking Spider-Man stories out there right now.
Now, see, this is my biggest gripe about the whole thing. Like, it doesn't make sense for Sony to just be like, no, thank you. We already got one, basically, type of deal. Like, you're making money, and you're asking him to finally put in like a little bit of extra work yourself.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because another thing I wanted to talk about was Sony's, and this is gonna go back and forth into the Spider-Man stuff. The Sony is planning on doing a bunch of Spider-Man themed live action movies with the guys that created the Spider-Verse movie.
Which, a big fucking fart noise to that.
Now, here's the thing. They don't have TV rights for Spider-Man whatsoever. So to do that, they would have to get the sign-off from Disney.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because they only have the movie rights for it. So any live action adaptations or even cartoon adaptations that Sony wanted to do that's not for the movies and that's not a movie or in the movie theater or maybe Netflix, they have to get permission from Disney Marvel.
Yeah.
If you're fucking with their big product right now, that your whole thing is going under after that.
And what fucking stupid timing. Like, why? Why do this? Like, you nailed it with Spider-Verse. Why not just fucking continue on that? That's what people want. People, like, are you kidding me right now? Like, people wouldn't watch, like, people would watch a Spider-Ham movie right now. People would watch a Spider-Gwen. Are you kidding? A fucking Spider-Gwen movie where Miles has to come to her dimension?
Right.
People would watch the fuck out of that. But yeah, I mean, I seriously, why? Because Venom was such a piece of shit. Your two Amazing Spider-Man movies were pretty garbage.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, I don't even know how well received the very first Sam Raimi Spider-Man was. Like, I didn't really like it a ton.
The first
when I
one,
saw it.
yeah.
I mean, now I look back on it now, going, oh, these are much better than a lot of stuff we're getting these days. But like, I mean, beforehand, I mean, think about it: the organic webbing, Tobey Maguire kind of looking like all the teens looking way too old, you know, shit like that. It's like, you know, weird CGI and comic, like weird, like almost like overly cartoony type stuff. Like, but now it's like endearing and it holds up because you're like, oh. Because the time period was really good. And we've had such a slew of garbage since that you're kind of like, oh, no, these are much better. It's like they seem so much better in retrospect.
I'm just curious of what their plans are if they're not going to do it. Like, are they just going to try and reboot Spider-Man? Or are they going to – because I think Holland is contract – I don't know if he's signed with Sony or Marvel or how that works.
I'm pretty sure he signed with Marvel. That's why everybody was worried about Far From Home being the last movie.
Right.
And which kind of looks like it might be.
Now the last one can be homeless.
I mean, if I had to put my money on it, I would assume Sony's just going to try and steal the property. I assume they just want to take Tom Holland and throw him in their shitty movies and
just to get the recognition off of the what's already been done.
His star power, yeah. That's the only thing I could think. It's I mean, don't get me wrong, Tom Hardy, Tom Holland, fucking, you know, Tom and Tom fucking running around. That'd be great, but I mean, that Venom movie was just so shitty.
I mean,
I don't want it.
I've told a few people since the news broke, you know, especially on our group page. I'm just like, you know, Sony could do it. It's not going to be great, but they could still use Holland just by like doing some multiverse bullshit thing where Spider-Man goes into multiverse. That explains why he's not in the MCU no more. But then if something eventually, you know, gels back together in the future, they can just bring him right back on into the mix.
I don't understand why they just can't just go, hey, Tom, just work for everybody. It's
right.
Because they could use Tom Holland's doing a bunch of fucking voice acting these days. Just have him show up as his Peter from the MCU as an animated character in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And then let him go do his shit with Marvel, and you both everybody gets a cut of everything. Like, who cares? Everybody fucking cries too much about money. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's like $1 billion. It's like, what? I'm so fucking done with Disney. Can we talk about this right now? I'm after, and this is going to go with some of the contracting talks. I've heard rumors and a lot of sites right now. Mostly Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers. Geeks and Gamers is really hard to listen to, but they tend to get a lot of decent sources.
Right.
There are a lot of rumors going around right now that the reason why it feels like Disney was essentially tanking Star Wars right now. It's because they were trying to kill off all the OT characters, almost literally, because George Lucas still owned rights to them.
Yeah,
like
he gets paid every movie they're in. He gets paid every time they use those characters.
So they wanted to get rid of all of them. That's why at like Galaxy's Edge, their fucking theme park, you don't see anybody dressed as like Luke, Leia, and Han.
Right.
You only see the new characters.
You get Vader.
Well, I mean,
but
still,
you know,
it's like, why would you really? What are you gonna do with Vader? You know, you can't kill him off. There's no. Well, I think they might be trying to because I think they're bringing back. There are rumors of time travel. If the next movie is just Endgame but with Star Wars, I'd be like, what the fuck? It 100% feels like that's what's gonna happen, and fuck Disney, dude. The greedy motherfuckers. Like, I'm so done with the mishandling of their fucking franchises. It's insane. Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy are like a cancer.
I feel that they need to do, because everything is under Disney's thing. Yeah, they're separate. Like, you have your Star Wars, you have your Marvel, you have your Disney, and maybe whatever Fox's thing might be. What they need to do is have like executives, chief CEOs of these separate divisions, basically, to call the shots for that. And then those guys, but see, they need to,
Kevin Feige
is in Marvel.
And Kathleen
Yes.
Kennedy was Star Wars. She was heading Star Wars.
Okay.
And the whole deal was, Marvel was doing good until Disney started getting in there. Once they got bought out, you started seeing kind of the Tismy shit that they were doing.
Yeah.
The fucking SJW shit.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you can tell too because a lot of people think, the first Iron Man movie and stuff like that, the Iron Man, the Hulk, and actually I think like the whole first run until Avengers,
pretty much up to Avengers. After Avengers, I think
was
they
not
got bought by
Disney like produced. That was like Universal and Paramount.
Something like that. Yeah.
So
it's yeah, no, I agree with you. They need to just let Kevin Feige go do his thing. Like they don't it's kind of like that kid. It's like that coworker that you really trust.
right.
You send him off. You give him a task and go, hey, go do your thing. And until I hear something, until I get a phone call about you fucking up, I'll just leave you be. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
But we can't do that. Nope. We got to get our fucking greasy hands in all of the shit just because we have a fucking agenda. It's so lame. It's so fucking lame.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm annoyed? Can you tell I'm a little annoyed?
It's one of those things that they're always going to be greedy. I was actually talking to Nick about this the other day. I was like, everything that Disney stands for now is nothing that Walt Disney stood for.
Yeah,
when he started that shit.
He's got to be rolling in his fucking grave right now.
He can't roll in his grave. He's frozen in the theme park.
Yeah.
He's
got to
Orlando. We'll say the Orlando.
He's got to be
one.
thawing in his grave right now. Dude, it's bad. It's really bad. But this is what happens with monopolies. They get to just do whatever they want, and they'll keep pumping them out no matter how pissed people are because they have the money to recover.
Yeah.
We just need Disney to fucking have one huge fucking flop.
Can I say too, again on the Spider-Man stuff, like the articles keep saying, Kevin Feige no longer producing the Spider-Man shit, right? Because the deal is gone. Kevin Feige's name has been on almost every Marvel movie since they started, like back with Blade.
Yep.
So that doesn't make sense.
Dumb.
But because it's still technically a Marvel movie. Unless they plan on not putting the Marvel logo on their movie, it's still a Marvel movie. Therefore, Feige still should be on the producer ring.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, until we know more about this, I don't really give a shit.
Everybody could talk memes all day about it, but
yep. Yeah. You just keep giving your dust memes. But since we're on Disney, have you heard rumors that people? It might be China. They're trying to get people to boycott Mulan because I guess the main actress who's playing Mulan came out in support of, I don't know, their police in their country or something, and
because of all the stuff going on right now,
protesting
over there?
And stuff, and I was like, oh man, I doubt that'll do anything. If anything, it'll probably give it more notoriety, so people will want to go see it.
Right.
So I'm curious. I hope it's not in danger or anything. I still want to see it. I'm so excited. I'm still keeping hype. I'm keeping hype for it.
I haven't watched anything extra of it. I don't know if they dropped anything extra, so who knows.
Nope. I'm just I hope they don't do anything dumb and the movie comes out fine and we don't have any more fucking stupid crap with it. I just want to see it. Okay. That's all I got for that.
Right.
Let's see.
Disney. Oh, Disney.
There's just so much shit going on right now.
And a lot of it has to do with Disney, huh?
Oh, dude, a lot actually. Well, and I mean with the Endgame DVDs coming out, fucking just a absolute
let's
tidal
talk
wave
about that
of Marvel tribute videos, like music videos.
Let's talk about their DVD, Blu-ray, 4K.
I'm so excited.
bullshit.
I knew. Remember how I told you that it was not going to be worth buying because I saw the deleted scenes on YouTube?
So, and I texted you this shit too.
Yep.
I was like, so there's only one deleted scene that I found humorous, but it wouldn't have worked in the movie.
No.
But it was still funny. Every other deleted scene in there was crap. It was just crap. There was one about and I'm sure the entire internet's seen them. One about the fucking berries.
The goji berries.
What the fuck did that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
Anything. In a movie you're dealing with time travel, you're talking about fucking berries. Then there was one scene where fucking Thor was pissing in his castle.
Couldn't even believe that.
I was like, okay, because that would happen.
Couldn't fucking believe it.
They
dude.
just made him look like a horrible drunk right there instead of a depressed drunk.
Yep. It was. Fuck.
And I'm glad that didn't make it in the movie.
I fucking hate how they disrespect Thor in this goddamn movie.
There was one scene with the stupid kneeling, which was
I fucking
stupid.
hate that. Anybody who thinks that's cool, it's so dumb and doesn't understand what pacing is in a movie. Like, could you imagine Tom Holland having that incredible acting moment with him?
Yeah.
And Pepper doing that. And then we just cut to all the dipshits looking at each other going like, oh, okay, well, like, do we all take a knee? Or
And see, that's the thing. It was like Hawkeye goes to his knee, which I can respect that one because he did it earlier. Sure. But everyone else, they like just like you have fucking Black Panther looks back at him and then he takes a knee, and then Captain Marvel looks back and I'm like, you guys are just what?
It literally felt like when I was in like intramural soccer and like a guy got injured and everybody'd have to take a knee.
Yeah.
So they could get him off the court. It's like, you okay, buddy? You all right? And it's like everybody's looking at each other and they're all like fucking, it's just so fucking dumb. And it takes forever. And it's like half of these people don't even know. Captain Marvel doesn't even know Tony. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, fucking Christ.
Man. I don't.
Movie.
I think there was another one in there that I probably just can't recall. The one that they threw in the end credits when they re-released the movie in theaters with Hulk. Apparently, that wasn't worth putting on the fucking 4K edition of the movie.
I can't even believe that's a thing.
And then the one that I found was humorous was a deleted scene where they were talking about the Chitauri from the Avengers movie, and Rocket was making fun of him for taking so long to beat him. He's like, all you had to do is just destroy the mothership. And they're like, yeah, well, we didn't know that at the time. He started fucking laughing at him and shit. That one was funny.
That's kind of funny, yeah.
Because it fits his character. Everything else didn't fit the characters that they were doing the shit with.
Dude, I can't get over. Like, I literally watched a compilation of all the memery in the movie, and it's about 9 to 10 minutes long, where they literally just take all the memes or like the jokes of the movie
and throw them together.
And fucking Christ, dude, just the cringe. Like, the cringiest shit in the world. And people would be like, well, you're watching it out of context. It's like, what is the context?
Right.
Like, fuck you. It's a joke. Like, I'll always want to slip my fucking wrists when I hear the Cheese Whiz joke. I fucking want to die.
I've been watching people like, Nikki or her parents and stuff like that when we watched the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like waiting to see if they would smirk from that, and they didn't. So I was like, see, that proves that was not timed well ever.
Well, and also the jokes are so, it's all pop culture references. You're dating everything.
That's the thing with the Russos though, dude. They love their pop culture references. They even talked about it at Comic-Con this past year that they love their pop culture shit.
But
it dates it way too much. It's kind of like the line with MySpace in Iron Man. It kids aren't gonna know what the fuck MySpace is.
See, I'm okay with that though, because it's just a website.
Yes, but
it's just a social
it still
media
dates
website.
it a little bit. But it still makes it be like, okay, well, this is an older movie. It's kind of like Back to the Future talking about Jaws. Most kids aren't gonna know what the fuck Jaws is.
It's so different. It's like, it's something that was like a cultural phenomenon. Fortnite, it's not something that's going to last more than like 10 years.
Yeah. Technically, MySpace is still out there too, so.
Yeah, see? Fuck off. Yeah, see? Exactly. Well, my other thing is just, well, and I know the Russo, but I mean, go back and watch Winter Soldier and fucking Civil War.
Yeah.
Tell me how much fucking pop culture shit's in that. You know what I mean? Other than the
Spider-Man
stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. But the movies they pick are like timeless.
Right.
Fucking original Star Wars, and then they even pick Aliens and fucking Infinity War. It's like they know which ones to pick.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it was like,
I think these were just like all the rest of the jokes. They were like, well, we didn't put these in any of the other movies, so let's throw them in this one. We have 3 hours to say them.
I just wanted to kill me. And one of the things that like where I get really pissed off is Don Cheadle's go back and kill baby Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
When he does the hand twirl and it like acts like he's pulling the string.
Yeah.
They make a fucking sound effect.
Yeah.
He does it and you hear the rope pull. I go, are we watching a fucking cartoon? What the hell?
I thought that was coming from his mouth. Like he's like that.
No, listen to it again. It's a rope. It's an actual
again.
like tether rope. It's like, you know what I mean? Like he's actually I wanted to die. And I remember sitting in the theater and I heard that and I go, I fucking hate this. I hate this movie. And and then we start to, and they just do fucking silly fucking shit that breaks their movies. And that's why I get pissed off. It's like trying to create the tension of like, we have pin particles. We only have so many. We can't fuck this up. We only have 3 shots at this. And then boop, boop. And he comes back and he's like, okay, 2 shots. It's like
1 shot
or whatever. It's like,
yeah.
He wastes a pin particle. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But we play it off for a joke. And when he sends him like through back in time, when they're testing it with Hulk,
yeah,
we prove that we can make him young again. Just put fucking old Cap's ass back in that thing and young him up again.
yeah. That's I said that too so many times.
Movie's dumb. So let's get away from it. Otherwise, I'll be on it for 1,000 years. But
well, no.
So, but how do you feel about the 4K?
Fucking 4K.
No,
thing.
I want you to talk about the 4K.
So you spend the money to buy the 4K, thinking you're gonna get a piece of nice artwork on top of okay art, and you know the disc for the 4K, like the Blu-rays that come with it, because you get the Blu-ray and the 4K disc and the digital, whatever. The Blu-rays are just your normal Blu-ray disc. It's like the blue cover with the fucking name on it, and then the 4K is supposed to have the cool picture. The fucking picture on it is a side picture of Captain America and Hawkeye in their stupid white suits, and it's just so horrible. So, like, for a movie of that stature, and you know how big it was and everything for everybody, it's like, put some fucking work in there. Iron Man's face should be on the front of the disc.
What the fuck, right? That's what I'm saying. Why was it not Cap and Tony?
Right.
It should have been them.
That's what I was like, wait. When I opened it up, I was just like, you gotta be shitting me, right?
And it doesn't even, and you showed it to me and I laughed. I was like, it doesn't even look like a good like Photoshop picture. It looks like they literally
It's a still
just took,
from
like,
the
a screen,
shot,
like a screen cap. It looked like they pulled it up on YouTube, fucking screen grabbed it, and then just placed it on the disc. It
wasn't anything extra that they did like a quick photo shoot for, or like you get better photos in the fucking Entertainment Weekly or some shit like that, you know?
Dude, I was laughing my fucking ass off.
At least it didn't have Captain Marvel on it.
True. But I mean, I guess the only argument I could give to that was like, what? Maybe they're gonna try and like beef up their steel box or like.
That's what I'm guessing. I
do.
didn't get the steel box because I was not paying extra for a fucking metal box. I don't care about that.
I so don't care about that. I don't. Why is that a thing?
There's like I'm part of these like different cult movie groups and stuff, and they're all like about these steel box booklets and shit. I'm like, unless the movie has some extra shit on it, I don't care. It's gonna sit on a shelf either way, you know. And with the steel booklets, like I think we have 1 or 2 movies that have steel booklets just because they were cheaper at the time.
Yeah. And
like you sit them in there, and unless you have the sleeve over it anyways, you don't know what fucking movie it is. So
which can people stop putting sleeves on the fucking discs? I'm sick of that. The fucking like cardboard sleeve that it comes in. I'm like, I want to throw that away every time. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Look, what, I got to take another thing off to open my fucking...
Well, if you have Thor Ragnarok in 4K and you don't want the sleeve, send me the sleeve because I got the 4K without a fucking sleeve.
You nerd. You fucking nerd.
I need the sleeve because every other Marvel movie had the fucking sleeve.
But that's what I'm saying. Just take the sleeves off.
No.
Just take the sleeves off. So dumb. So dumb. It's all dumb.
But no, my main complaint was like the fucking imagery. And then the deleted scenes were horse shit.
I can't even believe there's nothing, dude.
Yeah.
It just proves how
they had
rushed
like
this is.
featurette stuff on there, which is like the making of Fat Thor, the making of or Tony's journey or Cap's journey or some shit like that. Like there was no cool shit in there about Ronin. Like why not do a featurette of like developing the Ronin character? That would have been awesome, you know.
Yep.
I get it. As fans, we like come up with better shit than clearly the studios can think of to put on there. Either that, or they're gonna put the movie out again in 6 months with extra more shit.
I was telling Hannah, I was like, I'm curious to why the deleted scenes suck so hard, because it's one of two reasons.
And people are praising them though. That's the thing.
Well, because people are fucking idiots, dude. They'll eat anything. They will eat shit if it's got the Disney logo on it. They will pay $15 for a fucking water at Disneyland. Like, get the fuck out of here. People are stupid, man. Their company loyalty is actually draining on my soul. But I was telling her, I was like, there's two reasons why these deleted scenes suck. One, either they were super rushed to get this out, so there really is no footage worth a damn, and pretty much what we got in the movie is pretty much what got shot, and that's about it. Or there was a completely different story that probably had more Captain Marvel in it or more stuff with Hulk or more, you know, whatever. And they don't want to put that shit out because they don't want to show. Because if you see all these scenes that got cut and you're like, why did these get cut? Like a perfect example is Star Wars The Last Jedi, where a deleted scene is after Rey tells Luke about Han being dead. Which, why didn't Chewie tell Luke? But whatever. Rey tells him that Han's dead, and then right when he's about to react to his friend of like 30 years being dead, they cut away. And it's like, wait, what? And we go to the next scene. They deleted scene of fucking Mark Hamill lamenting about the death of his friend was a deleted scene.
Yeah.
Or like when Captain Marvel came out and they put out that other bullshit scene that made her look more like a villain. It's like, I think they didn't want to put a bunch of shit out that's like, oh yeah, see how we fucked this movie really, really poorly? It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh no. Remember there was a cut where that whammon scene didn't happen?
Right.
It's like, but no, we had to have it. Fucking, I hate Endgame, like with all of my soul. I do. Some people just like it because they're like, well, it could have been worse. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know it could have been. At this point, I'd have rather just not had it and lived with Infinity War. I'm fine with it.
The end.
Just give me Infinity War, and then I'll just read fanfics for the rest of my life.
I mean, it would have made more sense now with this Sony thing. So then Spider-Man's out, you know.
Yeah, that's what happened. It was like you could see all the contracts being torn up as as everybody disappeared. It's like James Gunn's been fired. You see all the Guardians dust. Sony takes back Spider-Man. You see Spider-Man turn to dust.
Oh, it would make for a fun little thing to edit together. Like that's it, and like how the
internet
everybody coming back was just like a dream sequence that Tony had.
Yep.
There you go.
God, talk about a missed opportunity. I want to know why. I want to know why Thanos knew who Tony was. Stark, it's like, you knew me? You know me?
Well, I mean, in Avengers, they did have the fucking tunnel to Thanos' army going up off of Stark Tower. So maybe Loki said shit to him. Who knows?
But I want to know why. And it's like, you're not the only one cursed with knowledge. It's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And, you know, it was funny because somebody came up with an idea to make the time travel at least feel meaningful.
Yeah.
Which in the long scheme of things or whatever, it doesn't, I don't know if it would necessarily work, but imagine they do the time travel thing and Tony goes back and he does all this stuff, and that's why Thanos knows about Tony.
Yeah.
Because he went back in time, so then Thanos made it his mission to get him off the board. That's why he attacked New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would have been cool. It would have been like, why is Thanos in Tony's head when actually Tony was the monster? He went back and he got in Thanos' head and got himself put on the radar. I was like, oh, that could have been interesting. At least would have made the time travel feel worth it. But But nope, nothing. And I wouldn't have a big resurgence of my annoyance if I wasn't watching all these tribute videos where people are cutting together all these storylines, and you just realize all the stuff that never gets talked about again.
Yeah.
Like how the fuck do you not use "I'm with you to the end of the line"? They never say that. Like, there could have been a moment with Bucky and Cap where he goes, "This is the end of the line," or like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? We didn't get that, and it's so stupid. And we didn't get any of the Tony stuff, and we didn't get any of the fucking Civil War shit, and we didn't get.
The only thing that really
and then
gets
he kissed
paid
his own
off.
niece.
What's that? Oh, yeah, niece. The only real payoff in that movie, like when everyone comes back and stuff too, was like him finally hugging Spider-Man. Like honestly, anything with Spider-Man and Iron Man was like
they nailed it. Yeah,
that's it.
They nailed it. And honestly, I would give that just to the actors.
Yeah,
I don't think that had anything to do with the script. I think that was all acting. And then
like you could say like fucking in Civil War when Clint tells T'Challa his name. Oh, that gets paid off because he's like, Clint, hand me the fucking, what is it? Yeah. The gauntlets or whatever.
Yeah. And then they turned Black Panther into a running back, essentially.
Yeah.
Fucking racist.
Or how he jumps in and like he uses his like force like thing from his suit and it's like a fucking Superman lands there. I was like, the fuck? I didn't notice that the first couple times I watched it.
It's pretty gay. What was the other thing? And this pissed me off because I was thinking about Far From Home, how there's like tributes to Iron Man everywhere, like in every country and shit. I love the fact that the movie felt really small, surprisingly. People are like, what? Like, it's so grandiose and crazy. I'm like, yeah, Tony died and our funeral for him is just the cool thing at his cabin. I'm like, shouldn't they have like a Superman memorial where like the whole world is sad about him? Like,
right.
This dude saved the fucking universe. It's like, I mean, could we have a memorial somewhere, please?
And they don't even see like a casket type thing either. It's just the thing floating off. So who knows what happened to the body? Maybe it's a deleted scene that they didn't put in the deleted scenes.
Well, because the way I figured was like there should have been this big like processional.
Or maybe they didn't want to go the Batman v Superman way.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, whoa, we didn't want to go that way. But you earned it though. You could have done it.
Right. And everyone knows who Iron Man is too, so it's not such a confusing thing when
That's what I'm saying. And also Tony Stark is a billionaire person, like he's a celebrity, so people would have mourned him. There should have been this big parade. The whole world should have had a memorial like sadness. Then we should have cut to the cabin where they were doing their own intimate thing. To pay respect to their guy. But no, like what the fuck? And then we just brush it away in Far From Home. It's just a joke. We turn that shit into a joke too.
It's a
God,
joke.
Disney sucks. Fuck Disney.
All right, so let's get away from Disney then.
Yes, please.
In other news, since Kevin Feige is trying to figure his shit out, another Kevin is finding some fun shit to do somewhere else.
Ooh.
On the
I'm proud of you. That was really good. That was really good. What a sagoo.
On an app called Netflix.
Never heard of it.
It's this little app. I guess you pay a couple bucks a month. You get to watch random stuff on there. I think they used to do DVDs to your house too, but I'm not sure. You know, it's a new and upcoming app. John.
So I can get DVDs sent directly to my house?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's one at a time though. They're kind of stingy. They won't send you like two at a time. You have to do one, mail it back, and then get the other one. It's kind of gay.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. Okay, this joke's not funny anymore. Okay. So, moving forward. That's so dumb. We're so dumb.
All right. No, so Netflix is bringing back He-Man with the showrunner, Sir Kevin Smith.
Well, wait. Are you sure they're not going to call it She-Man? Oh, wait. She-Man. Technically, they did do that.
They already have She-Ra.
I'm excited.
So it's really cool. The poster looks pretty dope. And And I watched the entire panel at the con that they released it at and everything. I think it's PowerCon is what it was, something like that.
Never heard of it.
It's a He-Man thing, I guess, Motu thing. But they are going to try and do it almost as like a continuation from the original series, which is kind of dope.
That's kind of smart because it makes people kind of... But, man, people are going to go back and watch those and realize how bad they are.
Yeah.
Because, I did that. They're rough, man. I had all those toys, and I played I watched the shit out of that show when I was a kid. I even, like, legitimately called my mom one day, and I go, I'm really sorry that you had to put up with this.
So, the set of writers they have is actually pretty good writers. Except for one of them, I'm not sure what all they've written, but Smith in the panel, because I watched the whole thing again, said that the episodes that he worked on Supergirl that were like the story was well developed in them was done by Eric Carrasco, who writes for Supergirl. So he's one of the writers on there. Tim Sheridan, who did the Reign of Superman movie recently, and then the Dia Mishra from Magic the Gathering. She wrote Magic the Gathering. I didn't know there was a movie of that. Is there a Magic the Gathering movie?
A movie or a show? Maybe? I don't know.
And then Mark Bernardin is also teaming up with him. His podcast buddy.
Is he so what's he doing? Is he just producing it or is he helping? Like,
he's helping write it and coming up with show ideas. That's what the showrunner does. They're basically in charge of everything that's coming through.
I could see that being good. Kevin Smith tends to care about his shit.
Yeah.
And when he has a lot of control, things tend to be, I mean, they're not going to be perfect, obviously, but they tend to at least like be full of, it has some substance and it tends to at least give respect to the lore. Like he's good at that kind of stuff. Because if people are like, oh, well, he does, dude, he's written comics for years. Like he wrote he did a Green Hornet run for a really long time. Didn't he do a Green Arrow run too?
Yes, he did Green Hornet, Green Arrow. He did Green Hornet and Green Arrow. He did Batman, and most recently he did Hit Girl.
Ooh, I'd like to read those. I bet those are good.
They're pretty good.
God, give me a Hit Girl movie. I love Chloe Grace Moretz, dude. She's the best. I'm excited. I think I told you the other day. I was like, I'm just excited for all of the fucking new Castle Grayskull memes.
Yeah,
I want Grayskull to come back, and
Speaking of Castle, the guys who animated Castlevania for Netflix, is the ones who are going to be doing this show.
See, and I was curious, like, you think they're going to go like a little, because he said anime.
Right.
So it's like, I wonder how different the animation's going to be. Because obviously they're not going to do the fucking like 80s or whatever animation style.
Well, I mean, maybe they'll do like what they do all the time when they do like those crossovers with the Ninja Turtles. And they bring like the 90s turtles into the new turtle thing, but still have them kind of looking like what they used to. Maybe. I hope they don't do that. I just hope they don't do what they did in like I think it was the late 90s when they did a Motu series again that just flopped.
See, I always tell myself when you announce a fucking animated thing, it's like, give me some concept art. Like, I just want a little bit.
I think they did for the panel, but it hasn't been released out to the public. Kind of like how Comic-Con does. You know, they'll show the trailers and shit there first for the people who pay to get to see the stuff. Because
I'm like, I just, with animated shit, it's like, if I don't like your aesthetic, I'm probably not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of cartoons that just don't appeal to me, just because I don't like the look of them. They just look kind of bleh.
And that's supposed to hit Netflix, I'm guessing, the beginning of next year, maybe towards the end of this year. I don't know if they gave a date. I couldn't find a date anywhere. But they've been working on it for a while because he's been like hinting towards these secret projects that him and Mark have been doing on his one podcast. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck is it? I was not expecting this though. I was definitely not. I was thinking, it's going to be like, some other random show, like an actual show, like a Clerks TV show or some bullshit like that. not like something else. But with other properties too, like, yeah, he's a big fanboy, so I don't see it going too bad. Mm-hmm. Like, he's there for the fans. That's probably one of the reasons they grabbed him up, is like to make sure that the fans are pleased and everything. So
yeah. I hope it's good. I hope it doesn't look like She-Ra. That's all I'm saying.
I hope not.
Because I actually liked She-Ra better than He-Man back in the day when I was a kid, and I just really hate the new animation style they went with. It looked a little too. It's not chibi, but it's like it looked too Cartoon Network-y. Mm-hmm. Like with the, and I guess this day and age Cartoon Network, not the good '90s, late '90s stuff. Early 2000s.
Right.
Just a little too bubbly and overdone.
Yeah.
It's lame. But yeah, I'm excited. I'll put Kevin Smith's name on it. I'll most likely watch it.
Just for the fanboy aspect of it, the fandom of
Why
it.
not?
And then also with Masters of the Universe, Sony just released that they're doing their Masters of the Universe live action movie in March 2021 is the date for it. It says the power returns too, so I'm wondering, is this like a direct sequel from the Dolph Lundgren one, or what?
Oh God!
Or are they gonna cast Chris Hemsworth? Ooh, there you go.
As He-Man?
Yeah, I mean he pulled off Thor. No, he's too rugged now.
Well, and he's also too like he's like supermodel buff. Like he's kind of skinny. I want a big dude. I want a Terry Crews size big guy, like an Arnold. I want an Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Conan, like. God, who could you get? Who would be good right now to be He-Man? Fuck.
Let's see.
Can we just make Terry Crews He-Man? I'll take a black He-Man. God, I'm just racking my brain. Who'd even be fucking cool for that part?
Wait a minute. It says he'll play. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Hollywood has decided Noah Centineo.
What?
He looks familiar. Oh, Netflix's Perfect Date movie. Did you ever watch that?
Perfect Date?
Yeah, where the kid like created his own dating app so he would go on dates with people and stuff.
Oh, ew.
That guy is supposed to be. He looks like a young Mark Ruffalo, but yeah, that's who they're saying is the new He-Man. I don't see that happening.
He's a big. I mean,
unless they're going for someone that looks like the cartoon face of He-Man.
Based on any photo I've seen of him, that looks like a terrible choice. But okay, must be under contract with him then. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't have the and I mean I don't think he'd look good blonde unless they're just not gonna make He-Man blonde in the live action movie.
Which would surprise me.
But the Mattel and Netflix and everyone already came out and said that their cartoon has absolutely nothing to do with the live action movie.
Probably a good call.
A very good call to announce. I'm just curious.
Oh, I know who could be He-Man. Alan Richardson. He's Hawk or something on Titans right now. DC's Titans.
Okay.
I want to look and see if I'm full of shit or not. Yeah, I'm down for a He-Man. I'm absolutely down for it. You ever watch Blue Mountain State?
No.
You need to watch Blue Mountain State. First of all. Second of all, he plays Thad on Blue Mountain State.
Okay.
I think he'd be a great He-Man. I think he'd be the perfect He-Man, actually. Please tell me you're looking at him, because I absolutely. He's even got like the dopey little eyes. Like he just looks he'd be perfect. Of course, I'm like in love with the guy, so whatever. He's a fucking brilliant actor.
There's so many other people that could play He-Man other than this kid. That's just my.
You want your fan casting? There you go. I'll post that on our group chat so everybody can see what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm curious who they would get for Skeletor. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That would be interesting.
I mean, that's when you get a voice actor, right? And just put him in makeup.
Right.
Like Troy Baker. Grab Troy Baker and throw him in the makeup. He'd be great. He's the guy who does like he's the new Joker. I think he even does some of the new Batman stuff from time to time, like in the movies.
Yeah.
And the games and shit.
Alexander Skarsgård
Oh, okay.
for He-Man.
I can see that.
And for Skeletor, John Lithgow.
No.
The voice.
No.
Yes. No,
Why
he's
not
not
just
really scary unless you see his face, actually.
Yeah. He's a
So-
better actor than, like, Skeletor's not going to really require a lot of acting, I don't think. Because Skeletor's just kind of a one-dimensional, hey, he's like Waluigi. Went a little penguin on us, but it's fine.
You could have Ron Perlman as Beast Man.
Fucking beast.
Beast Man.
Who's gonna play as Tiger? That's who I want. That's what I want to know. Andy Serkis. Let's get Andy Serkis to play fucking Tiger. Oh.
It's like all the He-Man characters, they're like all most of the villains anyways wear masks and shit. So it's like you don't really need anybody except for voice talent for those. Especially if you do them like Trapjaw. Like, who the fuck is going to take that character seriously in a live action movie if you don't, if you're not making your movie kind of goofy? These characters were made for toys and then they just adapted them into a cartoon.
See, I'm worried because He-Man's kind of a weird property where it's like it doesn't lend itself to live action.
No.
But the problem is like, what tone do you pick? Because if you go too dark, then you lose the kiddiness of it.
Well, then you
like
get if you go too dark, you kind of get what they tried to do with the original one with Dolph Lundgren. It was kind of dark-ish, but it still just was horrible.
But it's like then you start pretty much just turning into Conan the Barbarian,
Right?
And it's like, oh, it's lame. Or you could get a Taika Waititi to do it,
Yeah.
and then it turns into a big fucking walking cartoon, and you're like, well, why didn't we just make this an animated thing then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Kevin Smith made the right choice to go animated
with
because I said that's just where some shit just lives where it lives,
Yeah.
and you need to just let it stay.
It's rough because it's not like with He-Man, like those characters were made strictly for toys. They basically took random molds, threw the molds together, and were like, here's a football type Trapjaw character. Let's Trapjaw. There you go.
Well,
and it's awesome for toys.
Which is why when you go back and watch them, they're fucking terrible.
Yeah.
They're not good. And it's because, like, everybody
That's because what was happening at the time was the people making the toys was also making, like, the little bio sheets on the back of the toys. And then that's what the cartoon had to go off of, whatever the fuck they decided. And it's like, and you could argue Transformers was done kind of the same way, but they were able to adapt it in live action a lot better than you could.
G.I. Joe.
And G.I. Joe.
Pretty much anything Mattel.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah. Except, yeah.
But speaking of animated characters and kind of, tones and stuff,
Dun, dun.
have you seen a trailer for the new Harley Quinn R-rated cartoon?
Yes, I have with Batman and everything.
Kaylee Cuoco, or Cuoco, or whatever her name is.
Cuoco?
Kanku.
The chick from
Penny from Big Bang Theory. Let me tell you, when I heard that casting, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This is going to be terrible. And then I heard it, and I go, oh, man, this is going to be terrible.
She plays Harley, right?
Yeah. And then it's R-rated, so, like, the very first, like, teaser trailer, of course they had to put profanity in it, and it just didn't sit right.
Yeah.
And, like, hearing her voice do that wasn't very good. And I would also argue after Melissa Rauch, who played Bernadette on Big Bang Theory, just did Harley Quinn in a movie a few years back. Actually, I thought she did a great job, by the way. I thought she did a really, really good job. So it seems weird to already reboot the actress again.
Which they keep, every movie has almost a different actress now with her. I think
Which
they're
is
just trying to
insane.
find somebody,
because they don't want to pay Tara Strong those buku bucks anymore. Even though they got Tara Strong for that fucking shitty Batman Turtles one, which is a fucking piece of shit. But anyway, got too far away. I saw the trailer. Dude, that shit looks awesome.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a TV show.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
It looks fucking awesome. Like, Kaylee actually does some pretty good stuff. I mean, once you get past the fact that it's like, because everybody has a perception of what they wanted Harley to sound like.
Yeah.
And when you don't hear that, it's extremely jarring. But once you get past it, she's great. She's perfectly fine. I mean, in a trailer. I don't know what the show's gonna be like, but she seems perfectly fine.
Can I tell you, I love IMDb.
Why?
A show called Harley Quinn.
Okay.
And Harley Quinn is the 5th person on the roll, like the credit roll.
Yeah.
The first person is Princess Diana.
The fuck?
For the Harley Quinn TV show. I love IMDb. They never put their shit in order like
incredible. It's not like we've been an established website for like 2 decades. But I would say, dude, I'm gonna watch
Tudyk is playing Joker.
Oh God, I didn't even notice. Alan Tudyk can play anything. I don't give a shit. He's awesome. Fucking wash.
Wanda Sykes is in this.
Sure, she does good voice acting work.
JB Smoove.
Yeah, fuck. You liked him in Far From Home.
He was like the only funny part about the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, I've seen him in tons of other things. So if you know his character, like that he always does. So yeah, makes it fun. Can I just say, I'm going to go back again since we're on a DC piece right now.
Oh shit.
DC must be loving the fact that Marvel is just like, y'all fucking
tanking
split
themselves.
And we have all of our shit here, and guess what's happening on Arrowverse? We're gonna show you all the shit we've done since the beginning of time.
Can I give a big bag of fuck you to DC where it's like, that's the only thing that's rolling right now is the TV. The TV show seems to be the only thing that, like, let's be fair, everybody says the same thing. Even if they hate, because I'm one of the haters right now with the show that believes that most of the shows all tanked after about 3 to 4 seasons.
Hey, Legends is still good. It's still what it is.
I would argue that they did a big
same.
reboot. They did a gigantic reboot and rebranding, but
They've
still,
always
they
every
figured it out.
season it rebrands itself almost.
Well, not really. I mean, the first 2 seasons are the same, and then they do a rebrand essentially. But even the people who are like not happy with how the shows are right now, everybody tunes in for the fucking crossovers.
Yeah,
because those are handled so fucking well. Or at least I haven't seen a crossover where I was unhappy. I enjoyed it.
I still
every
watch
single one
everything. I'm a sucker, and I'm gonna watch the Black Lightning show eventually.
I'm probably gonna finish that out now too, since they actually put him in the verse. And
yeah,
I've been watching that shit. Is hard fucking core, dude.
What's that?
There's some Black Lightning.
Okay.
There's a person on Facebook who like every day puts a scene out because they don't feel that the show's gotten enough recognition.
Right, so they hit it up, yeah.
So they put out their favorite scenes every day. There's a scene where a dude, spoiler, I don't know the context, so I don't know how big of a spoiler it is, but the fucking albino bad guy literally fucking like Mortal Kombat fatalities a dude. He's like, I always got your back. And then he spins him around, fucking rips his spine out. I'm not kidding. Like, they pick him up by the spine.
But, like, CW rips his spine out, right? Because it's on CW, so it's like... or they actually show, like, the...
You watch him rip it out. The only reason why they got away with it is because it was, like, a mechanical piece.
Okay.
It was, like, a spine that's, like, this long, but it looks like, you know the thing that, like, attached itself to the back of Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2?
Yeah. When
it stabbed him in the back and it had that, like, exoskeleton spine type looking thing? It looked like that.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, that's how you got away with that. Again, I can't get over how fucking goofy the fucking suits are. But But like every scene I watch, I'm like, they're pretty solid. I mean, they're CW quality, but I mean, they're still good. I'm probably gonna watch the shit out of it. It looks awesome after the crossover, and there's not really anything I care about with the DC TV shows unless Flash gets better somehow miraculously. I'm kind of done after the crossover, most likely.
No, Flash will be done, or no, Arrow will be done.
Yeah,
Flash. I think it's
Probably
going to be
will
the
get one
last
more year.
season. Yeah,
because
they
if
keep
this isn't
saying
the last season, like,
well, they said that there's going to be whatever happens in the crossover. This would be the first time that the crossover actually has repercussions throughout the rest of the season.
okay,
So
cool.
maybe that will lead to either the shows changing up and getting a little better, or the show's just ending. At least
Unless
Flash.
this-
I don't think
unless-
they won't cancel Supergirl now.
No.
Just because of all the propaganda they push in it. But
As long as the CW can keep their fucking politics out of Batwoman,
yeah.
which they won't, that show could be fucking
Which
good.
is she's going to be in the crossover too then, right?
Yeah.
So
she's supposed to show up.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm super excited, dude. Have you heard of all the cool cameos they're getting? They just-
Some of them I haven't heard of everyone. I heard that they're bringing in the voice actor to play old Bruce Wayne.
Yep, Kevin Conroy's
Kevin Conroy,
coming.
yeah.
The Batman from the 90s. I mean, the Batman animated series.
Yeah.
The good shit. No, but Thea Willa Holland been confirmed to come back as Thea.
Oh yeah. That'd be
for
sweet.
this season.
I hope that they bring fucking Captain Cold back.
Oh, and Leonard. Yeah,
Just
that'd be
for
great.
one more, you know. They have him. They had him in a few times from like the other dimension or the other Planet X, Earth X. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that version of him. I liked the original one that they killed off. Spoilers.
There you go.
But no, I think it would be kind of cool if they brought in some other characters from the movies because they're doing. Granted, they have the one guy on contract because he fucking is on Legends, so he's coming in as Superman, of course. They're gonna have like 5 different Supermen on this show because they have.
Fucking Christ, dude, it's crazy.
It's like, how are they not gonna win? How is Arrow gonna be the one that fucking dies with all these Supermen? And
I know. Well, I mean, because I would assume maybe they're gonna try and make a couple of them evil. Maybe.
oh, dude, it's totally gonna be Endgame. There's gonna be all these like superhuman beings around, and the one guy that has to die is the one that started it all.
but isn't? I mean, let's be fair. Don't you think they're kind of trying to emulate Endgame essentially?
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry. I got the point, but I was like, yeah, that's. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point.
But
right? You gotta
I think it'll be
capitalize on what
better.
works.
I think it'll be better.
I would agree. I would
Um,
absolutely agree.
And people could, and you know, yeah, it could be better. And they've only had a year to plan, or 2 years to plan probably for this one.
Yeah, probably because I mean, obviously they had to have been.
They got
You
fucking
know,
Burt Ward
filling
to
it out
come
since
back.
last year.
If they put Burt Ward in that same Robin costume, I'm gonna
God,
laugh.
kill me. I'm
They need to
terrified that they're
update
gonna do
that
that.
shit.
I'm terrified.
But
they're
are they
do that.
gonna like go to his planet and then you'll see like all the like you know the crappy Joker and shit?
The 1960s shit.
That'd be fucking awesome. I think it would be cool if they brought in Dick Grayson from the Batman and Robin movie. Chris O'Donnell.
Oh, Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah. He's doing TV shit, so why not just show up for a day on set and get knocked out?
Because I'm sure that NCIS contract he's got is
Fucking-
just so lucrative.
Alicia Silverstone can show up as Batwoman or Batgirl because she wasn't Batwoman, she's Batgirl.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any other Alfreds. I highly doubt they'll get Affleck to show up, even though that'd be kind of dope.
No.
Just to tie it in, but he's done. I don't think he'd even do that just for that one bit.
I also just kind of don't. I don't know. I don't want it to get too bogged down just for cameo shit. I want it to at least still.
It's gonna
good.
be through four episodes.
Mm-hmm.
No, 5 episodes. 5 episodes.
There's 5. What do you got?
You got Arrow, Flash,
These-
Supergirl, Batwoman, and Legends.
Oh yeah, Batwoman. I forgot.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So there's gonna be
Oh,
5
yeah, so they even
episodes.
get-
So they have.
So they even get an extra hour this year because of that.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's extra 2 hours from last year because last year was only.
Oh yeah, because they didn't include Legends.
Yeah.
Which I love that meme in the show. I fucking love it. Crossover. We should have done the crossover. So I'm still super hyped for Crisis. I haven't heard anything bad. I mean, literally the cameos just don't stop. Like every day, somebody else is confirmed. So I'm excited what they're doing. I hope it doesn't get bogged down. I hope it works. And
can we say something though about the Legends thing? That whole crossover joke that they do. Here's the thing. They were fucking with time at that point, so everything was changing, but then everything was also changing in the crossover too. So who was responsible for it? Were the Legends responsible for it, or were the other people responsible for it with the book?
It's a book. It's the book.
Because in Legends, they were making it about the whole Constantine going back in time and changing shit. But it's like, if that happened, then the whole book thing might not have happened. So then why is there what?
I'm pretty much sure we just treat Legends as they operate in their own little world.
Because they've already made it known that their timeline is linear. There's no cross-branching bullshit and stuff like that. It's a straight linear timeline. If you change something in the past, it changes it in the future.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of this season, they really made that aware with changing the fucking girl out for the dude.
That was fucking funny. That was weird. I wonder how they're gonna play that.
Of all the things too, for like a channel and a franchise that really pushes like woman rights and stuff like that, you're gonna just kick a girl out and replace her with a dude. Like
I know, right?
It made no sense.
I do kind of like that though. I'd like to think that's kind of a meta DC going like Legends going like fuck you. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. Like, get out of here.
I love that show, man. That show's so good.
Too. I guess with Arrowverse news, I bet you're a huge fan of this late breaking stuff. Apparently Stephen Amell is already finding work.
Yes.
Outside of the Arrowverse. Would you like to talk about that? Because I'm sure you know plenty.
Go ahead. Start talking.
Oh, me,
Actually,
huh?
I didn't read a whole lot of it. Just what you had dropped before in our group. But I didn't like go through and research any of it. I didn't know you wanted to talk about it. And then that, and if something falls through, I don't want to be like, my hopes got up and then, That's why with the whole Disney Sony thing, I'm just kind of like on the skirts of it. I'm just weary. I'm not going to, because I started to think about it. I was like, fuck, I'm not going to get to see what happens next. And then I'm just like, well, wait, I'm just going to calm down and go with it. So with the same thing with the Arrow stuff is like, because I want to see Stephen Amell do a lot more shit.
I do too. I think he's a good actor. The problem is that he could also just be really good at his character because he's been doing it for so long. He just like knows his character. So I'm excited to see him branch. I know he's done other stuff, and I've seen him. He's also in Blue Mountain State. Another reason for you to watch it.
Okay.
But I like him. I think he's a cool dude. I follow him like
now
on his panels and on Facebook and shit, and he's just awesome. And
his
but the thing he is working on is
it's gonna be on Stars though. That's the thing.
Stars.
I'm like kind of like because I don't think I get Stars.
A lot of Stars programs eventually can end up on Netflix or
Hulu.
I mean, you can find them somewhere.
Yeah.
But he's getting an 8-episode run of a pro wrestling drama called Heels. And if for you people who aren't like super versed in pro wrestling, there is the face, which is like essentially like the good guy, the guy that everybody likes. You know, when The Rock's a good guy, that's who you want. Or you're a heel, when you're essentially a dickhead.
And The Rock has been both.
He has been both, and he's probably done it the best.
He is the best. It's funny. I was actually I'm going to just say one thing on that. I was listening to this wrestling YouTube channel, and they were talking about how like everybody, you know, how The Rock did promos so fucking good, whether he was good or bad back in the day, that like when people do decent promos nowadays, they say that they're just copying The Rock. Like that's how fucking bad it is. Like he did it the best, so everyone feels like you're just copying him when you do it like very energetic and all that shit. I'm like, that's gotta be so sad.
Annoying. Yeah, it's gotta be annoying. It has to be. But that puts it on you to just figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure out your gimmick.
Not only that, like if people are saying, well, you're copying The Rock, but if you're doing it in a good way, then fuck you. I don't care. I'm doing something that clearly you couldn't do, you know?
Because look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's still relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's just like a badass version of fucking Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, I wanted to watch his show this past week.
What, Larry the Cable Guy?
No, Stone Cold's, because he had Sal from Impractical Jokers on there, and I wanted to see them like fight with him in the ring.
His new what don't they like do wrestling stuff and then they like go off and do like a weird
some random
like a
shit.
zip line or like fucking monster trucks or some shit.
But it's on like Super Lake, so it's after Raw, I think. But no, go ahead with the Stars show for Stephen Amell.
It's going to be called Heels.
Heels.
And
so I guess he's a good guy then, right?
Well, we'll see. Set in a close-knit Georgia community, Heels follows a family-owned wrestling promotion as two brothers and rivals war over their late father's legacy. In the ring, somebody must play the good guy and somebody must play their nemesis, the heel. But in the real world, those characters can be hard to live up to and just as hard to leave behind. Amell will star as Jack, the charismatic villain, or the heel, of the Duffy Wrestling Association, the DWA. Outside the ring, he's its hardworking owner. Okay.
In the real world, he's its hardworking owner. That's weird.
Yeah. People can't write anymore. A husband and father trying to make his ends meet while fighting to realize his impossible dreams. He has the mind of an artist and the body of a warrior, and Steve Jobsian need for perfection and for control. He says he'll do whatever it takes to build the DWA into an empire.
Can I ask, what site are you reading that from?
TVline.com.
So I'm reading it from Deadline.com, and it's word for word what you fucking just said. It's and these are
I think I got redirected from Deadline.
Okay.
I got yeah.
Because this straight up says is by Neil. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce the last name, but yeah, it was like word for word, and I was like trying to figure out. I was like, there's no way two different fucking people wrote this article with those.
Nelly Andriva.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neil,
so for all that said, for people that don't know, Stephen Amell actually does indie pro wrestling. He runs the indie circuits and stuff just for fun. He started out as a huge fan of WWF, WCW, now WWE. And all that shit, and started wrestling with Cody Rhodes was like one of his big dudes that like he got into WWE with Cody Rhodes. And now that Cody Rhodes actually runs AEW, I wonder if he'll show up on that circuit. That'd be pretty dope. It definitely would help their company out a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, he's actually not that bad of a wrestler. Like I've seen like random YouTube videos of his indie shit that he does. It's actually pretty good timed and shit. I mean,
he cares, and and the fact that he's been doing it, I imagine he was probably just doing it to train and research for this role. I bet so.
He's been doing it for years, though.
But still, you got to do shit for a couple of years. People, look at Keanu Reeves, dude. How long do you think he's been doing gun ranges and training and all that stuff? That shit doesn't stop.
Keanu Reeves doesn't train. Keanu Reeves downloads that shit into his brain. Fucking don't mess with Neo.
Do you think Keanu Reeves is going to be like the next Chuck Norris? Like, thanks to John Wick and Neo and shit? Like, he doesn't do this. He just changes the Matrix type shit.
I don't know.
Meme books. I'll take it.
I don't think so because Mr. Neo himself is coming back for Matrix 4.
Oh my God, I cannot in my life believe that that's a thing.
And somebody dropped this link on their timeline that had nothing to do with our group. And my first response was like, really? Why? Didn't he fucking die in the last one?
I don't even know.
I swore that he died like right in front of the robots and shit.
The first one is the only good one. Like,
So
the fucking Burly Brawl didn't even hold up by the end of the movie. It looks so bad.
it's still going to be done by Wachowski, one of the Wachowskis.
Lana Wachowski.
Wachowski.
Formerly known as Larry Wachowski, I believe.
Really?
You don't know that? How do you not know that? That was like the biggest story for like years. Yeah, Larry Wachowski had a sex change.
Okay.
And became Lana Wachowski. So I'm surprised she doesn't work for Disney.
Well, actually, isn't Matrix owned by Fox, which is now owned by Disney?
Oh shit! Oh,
I
fucking black
think
helicopters.
it was owned by Fox, right?
It sounds
That sounds legit.
20th Century Fox. Yeah,
I said it, so it sounds legit.
You check it out. I'm going with it. You said it on the internet. It makes it true, Michael. It makes it true.
The Matrix, Fox Studios, filmed at Fox Studios. Warner Brothers.
Okay, sure. Why
So-
not? That's weird. Didn't know that. All right. I learned something today.
There we go.
Dude, I might go back and watch The Matrix. That shit is so good.
The first one.
It's
The
so
other
good.
two are okay.
They're garbage.
I didn't watch any of them until they were completely done with the series.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. I'd never watched any Harry Potters till I bought all of them.
I'm really bad. I've only seen like 3 of the Harry Potter. I really should finish them. Like, I know a ton of lore, but I've never read more than 1 book, and I've never seen more than 3 movies.
The movies get better as they go because, of course, the kids are aging, so they get a little more like adult-ish, maybe. Or
I mean, do they though? They look really boring.
yeah, we watched them. I just recently watched them. A few months back.
There's a big fucking joke. I don't know if you finally ever watched that Pretty Much It compilation one that I talk about almost every other week.
Okay.
It's really funny. They make a comment. I think it's like in the 4th or 5th movie. They go, "Yeah, and we just never see sunshine again in any of these movies, huh?" And I'm like, holy fuck, that is like 100% true. Like, it's always cloudy or like gray and dismal, like everywhere they go.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking funny. And it was like right after Prisoner of Azkaban, I think. It just got dark and just never saw the sunlight again. Also, what point, other than going to class once or twice, I feel like those movies forget they're at school. like, it's like, could you imagine, like, Voldemort is coming to our, he's like, they're in the grand hall, like, eating fucking lunch or breakfast or whatever the fuck they do. Their wizard meals.
Yeah.
And their Bertie Bott's beans or whatever fuck. And he's like, Voldemort's coming and we have to, and they're like, okay, that's cool. We have a Quidditch game this afternoon. So like, I also got a test this weekend, Dumbledore. Like, if I could not like get part of your race war, could we just like, I'd really like to pass this class because my parents will kill me. But Voldemort will kill you. Yeah, you haven't met my parents.
Right.
And who cares? They already proved that there's time travel in their universe. The fucking movies are dumb.
In
Don't
which universe?
introduce time travel. Harry Potter.
When?
Hermione literally uses time travel.
Okay.
I think she even uses a fucking... Not only did they do it on purpose, but I think they even, like... She even talks about using it to, like, get to class on time or something.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking perversion of the biggest power in the universe. Ugh. Time travel is legitimately the most powerful thing you can ever introduce to a story. And don't do it. Just don't do it. Unless your movie is specifically about time travel, do not do it.
Yeah.
Endgame, you fucks.
So...
God, I really think they're going to do time travel in episode 9, dude, of Star Wars. I really think they're going to do it. I'm terrified. I think they're going to do it. No one's ever really gone. God damn it. Not until Disney kills them, I guess. Fucking ass bags. Could you imagine if they're like, yeah, time travel, and they just completely erase The Last Jedi? That'd be fucking hilarious.
I mean, that would be, for the fans.
Be preferable as a business. It'd be the smart thing to do.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do time travel and rip a hole in the universe, and that's where Doctor Strange's multiverse of madness comes in. And now they're combined with Star Wars, like the comics.
Do you want me to kill myself? Michael, have you ever seen Parks and Rec?
Yes, I watched the whole series. I love that show. I will not watch The Office, though. I couldn't get into The Office.
See, it's so weird. I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. The Office does not intrigue me. And I would argue the reason why I hate season 1 and part of season 2 of Parks and Rec is because they tried to be The Office.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then they go goofy, like mid, pretty much when the Greg Pakaitis episode happens.
Mm-hmm.
When he like pranks the Halloween episode or whatever, that's when they start getting goofy, and I'm all about it. The show really takes off when Chris Traeger and Ben show up, but
right.
But for the most part, I love that fucking show. But there's an episode, and I'm sure you'll remember it, where Patton Oswalt is in it, and they wanted to change the legislator because they threw Ted in the river every year.
Yeah.
Do you remember the filibuster that Patton Oswalt does, where he has to you have to talk as long as you can to keep a proposal from being heard on the floor?
I don't remember what he did. I know it had what.
He's a huge fucking nerd, and pretty much all he does is start talking about his fanfics.
Yeah.
There is a part where he's talking about how Darth Vader does this, and that will be our connection to the multiverse with the Avengers and Marvel and Star Wars. And I'm like, oh my God, we're almost there.
Right? we totally are, dude. We totally are. I mean, they've done it in comics where they've done like the crossovers with Star Wars and Marvel, or the crossover of fucking like Transformers and G.I. Joe and all that shit. Which they were supposed to do a crossover movie of G.I. Joe and Transformers, but they never did. But it's so close that it could happen. And then everybody will be pissed off.
Michael, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. Those are things that like...
Dude, the Multiverse of Madness, the reason it's a horror movie is because it's going to ruin everything in your childhood.
It's because Captain Marvel's going to be in it.
God, no. No, they already have a strong, powerful female in there. Scarlet Witch is more powerful than fucking Captain Marvel. Scarlet Witch can literally...
is the dopest fucking female in the fucking...
Who?
She's the coolest character in Marvel.
Scarlet Witch?
Or... female-wise. Like, everybody could say Black Widow, but I'm like, Scarlet Witch is fucking cool, though.
Yeah. Dude, she literally, in the comics anyways, I don't know if they're going to do it in the movies, but she can literally create her own realities. Like, change reality without a reality stone. Like, make it permanent. It's like, the House of M.
Yep.
Fucking, that's probably what they're going to do to bring the mutants in, dude.
One of the best fucking storylines ever, dude. And Emily Olsen's awesome, dude. She's a great actress. Like, holy fuck. And, I literally want a desktop screen image. Like, I want the highest resolution screen image ever of, the scene in Endgame where she sees Thanos and she like looks like fucking demonic. Like her eyes are glowing. She looks so fucking badass. God, if that was in a good movie.
Dude, that right there should have been the end. That should have been the end for that. Like,
that would have been so dope. It's like, you took
honestly, they make her look really cool in that scene, but then when like shit starts falling at her, she's just like, Like they made her,
but that's the thing though. That's what makes her cool. They cut one of my favorite phrases, and I believe I brought this up in a podcast once or twice. They call her a glass cannon.
Yeah. Like
what a perfect descriptor. She's one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful Avenger. But like she can still be killed by a bullet.
Right.
Like she can still be shot. Like that's awesome.
She also slept with her brother, too, in the comics.
Okay, well, let's not talk about that. Remember, not everything in the comics is good.
It's okay. He was pretty fast.
they're from Alabama. That's I don't know if that's true. Ding, 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 ding.
Let's since we're back on Marvel for some fucking reason, let's
God,
run back
why?
to the
We
beginning
can't escape it.
and say this because I just
Okay.
saw a meme or
no.
or something. What did it say exactly? Something about how fans are crying about not having Holland in the MCU anymore.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. If Disney wanted, they could just recast him as a different character in the movies. He could be the Human Torch for all they give a fuck.
Yeah.
He could be
Probably.
fucking Nightcrawler if they brought in Nightcrawler, dude.
He could be a fun Nightcrawler.
He has the acrobatics already. That's why he was cast for Spider-Man, because he did parkour and all that shit. So why not?
Nightcrawler wouldn't be bad.
And then you still wouldn't because you wouldn't see necessarily his face too, so it would make sense.
Nah, if they're gonna go with a younger Nova, make him Nova.
There you go.
Or no, we could do better.
Yeah.
We could do better.
I think he could make a good Johnny Storm. I think he would make a decent one if they did a younger version of Johnny Storm, not like a 30-year-old Johnny Storm.
Yeah. I'm not ready for the Fantastic Four yet.
Or he'll just come back as Iron Man, Kid Iron or some shit.
Oh my god. No, please no. Fucking Marvel, dude. I don't know. I think they died. I think it's over. I think Endgame was such a I don't want. Stop bringing me back to it, man. Stop it. Give me something fun. I want to talk about something fun.
Something fun.
I know in this world it's hard to find.
I don't know, man. All right, so with that, I guess I don't know. I don't know, John, what to say.
I know what to say.
Disney is everywhere, and I'm tired of talking about Disney. We talk about Disney even on non-talking Disney days.
Non-talking Disney days.
It's just,
there was, and there will always be. No, I got nothing. No. Wait. Wait.
Oh,
yes.
So some people were asking Deadpool, aka Ryan Reynolds, when we would see Spider-Man and Deadpool in the movie.
Never.
He said, "In my heart," and that's it. That's how he responded.
Fucking brilliant. Oh man, Ryan Reynolds is a goddamn treasure, dude. That guy gets it.
Oh.
Can we argue? I want to know when we're going to see a Deadpool 3. There hasn't even been talks about it, dude.
No.
I've heard nothing.
I don't know. I mean, maybe with the money they're saving from not having to pay for another Spider-Man movie, they can do it.
Oh, man. And talk about those fucking end credit scenes from Far From Home. What a fucking nothing now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, shit. Good thing we gave him those glasses. Fucking idiots.
It's going to be funny, though, because if they don't do another Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, only Tobey Maguire is the only one to get 3 Spider-Man movies then.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you could argue, Tom Holland was in other movies as Spider-Man, but he wasn't in his own movie.
Yeah, but he didn't get his own movies. Yeah.
So only Tobey Maguire was able to. Even if the last one was kind of ass, but still.
Yeah. I go back and watch that. There were elements that could have been really good. I think if they would have cut all that Venom shit out and developed more of the Harry turning into the new Goblin, the Knob Goblin or whatever the fuck they call it.
Well, yeah, because they had
really
what?
dope.
They started off with 3 villains.
It was him and Sandman. That was it. Well,
it was Venom,
yeah.
Sandman, and Green Goblin at first.
Yeah.
And then the Green Goblin becomes good, like right at the fucking end.
But literally right at the end.
Yeah.
Though. But I'm just saying, like, it would have been way better if you just cut Venom out.
Yeah.
It's like...
Because then you could have done a lot more
that.
stuff with one Green Goblin with Harry, And then Sandman would have gotten some more work. But I think the thing is, Venom was like the only real villain in that fucking movie. If you look at how they end it, like Sandman just lets fucking Sandman go. Granted, he can't really stop him.
That the fuck you can't. We know water fucks him up. Spit on him. Piss on him. Like, I don't know. Like, come on. Like, fucking get a hose. I don't know.
He's like, I'm sorry. And then just fucking fades away.
Yeah, and then he fucking Thanos'd himself. He's just like, I don't feel so good. And he just like dips out. And then, but the best part is like fucking Spider-Man's like, okay, peace, have fun.
Right.
Like, try not to kill anyone else. Like, oh man. But it's just like, it's shitty writing where it's like, well, he's got a daughter. That's why he's stealing. It's like, well, he also like killed people. Like,
right.
If you were to give him a code
like
or
fucking
something, that'd be
Deadshot
fine.
has a daughter too. His ass was still in prison.
Yeah.
Even if he
'Cause
was
he
helping
shoots
the
people.
government.
He fucking shoots people. God. But then like, watching that dissension into darkness for Harry, it's like good. It was like that scene, like I mean,
they tried to recreate it with Amazing Spider-Man 2 when they tried to show that, but
I don't even know if they did that. They just like
horrible
jumped right to it.
Yeah.
And he even looks like ass. Like all the character design in those movies is
well, the actor
terrible.
they got to play him, like I've always looked at Harry Osborn as like that. He was more like the prettier boy, right?
Like a dashing.
Yeah.
Well, but the issue is I think people considered him to be dashing and like he was like CW hot at the time. You know what I mean? Well, you got to remember they end up putting him in fucking Valerian with Cara Delevingne or.
Well, their looks kind of match each other almost.
It's weird. That second movie is terrible. And I'm sad to even say it. I remember when I saw it in theaters, and this is Sony, by the way, so ha ha ha, proving that they suck.
You think Sony would learn to not put multiple villains
you okay?
in their movies?
How was your stroke? Are you okay?
Dude,
are you all right there,
I think
buddy?
I'm coming back.
I remember I came out of the theater and I told Hannah, I go, why was Paul Giamatti even in this? It was incredible the names they got for this movie.
And which one?
And then just the Amazing Spider-Man 2. He was Rhino. Did you
oh
forget about that?
he was.
He's like the fucking Russian and like the and he like pulls his fucking drawers down and he's wearing like heart boxers. It's like, oh my god, is this for 5-year-olds? and fucking I remember telling Hannah, I got out of the theater and I go, like the first 5 or 10 minutes of that movie was what a Spider-Man movie should be. Like he's like trying to catch all the canisters in the back of the truck going like, oh no you don't, and he's like catching shit with his foot, and I'm like, oh that's awesome, I love that. But then I forget that he's doing all that stuff. He could have immobilized all these people very quickly.
Yeah.
But yet we ensue in like a fucking like 5-minute long police chase down New York. And like we have like a Blues Brothers car pileup. I'm like, how many police officers probably just died because you were just fucking around? And I go, oh yeah, we just don't address any of that because this movie's a big fucking cartoon.
That's
and
another Spider-Man movie where, oh my god, Sony, the fuck, dude, that's another Spider-Man movie where the second one is like hinting and leading into bigger and more shit, and then they're just gonna nothing came from the Sinister Six shit.
They were gonna pull I think they pulled Mysterio out of their ass at the end for their end credit scene or whatever. Fuck. There was somebody in a jail cell.
Was that supposed to be Mysterio?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Because then why is Sony so fucking lame that every time they introduce a villain, they're already in prison? What a shitty villain if they're already in prison. Because even in Venom, they introduce fucking Carnage
in prison. Yeah.
In prison.
Which then begs the question:
wig.
how the fuck is he getting the symbiote on him?
Well, to be fair, I think that's in the comics.
I don't care. The symbiotes, according to that movie, did not come to Earth until very recently. So, if he's been in prison, how the fuck did he get one? Because they were all accounted for. Unless he was attached to the ship somehow. Who the
Sony
fuck
is
knows?
trash. Sony is trash.
Sony
But
still
I like
the
their
cartoons.
electronics. I like their electronics. Calm down. They need to stop making movies. They should just sell off their studio and just make fucking animated stuff and video games. Just do that. And give me, like, dude, most of their TVs and most of their, like, electronic stuff, I'm so not paid by Sony, by the way. I'm just saying. As you can tell, because I've been shitting on them about.
Yeah,
stuff.
John, I'm gonna need 50% of that cut.
Yeah, it might be. Can we make it 5 and then I'll just not star in your movies from time to time? Like I've owned most of their TVs and like all my surround sound shit. I've not used any of their cameras, but I've heard their cameras are pretty decent nowadays. Their DSLRs are pretty solid.
I don't know.
No, like the last like 2 runs, I've heard nothing but good things. In their Sony Vegas editing program, people fucking love that shit. I don't use it. I'm a Final Cut X or Premiere Pro guy, but I've heard nothing but good things about Sony Vegas, and dude, they're so good on a technical level. Why not just do that?
Yeah.
Like, what happened to the days where you just do your thing? Like, do the thing you're good at. Like, you don't.
Everybody
need to
wants a fucking studio, you know.
They want to dip a finger in every single well of ink that they have on their desk. It's insane. And then, fucking finger paint up their butts or something. It's dumb. Companies are dumb. They're greedy. Just make good shit and it will stand the test of time and fans will kiss its ass. Because you'll get this, again, you'll get the stupid people to eat that shit up. It doesn't matter. But if you can get the longevity fans, like the ones that just like eat this shit up
The ones that turn your films into cult films. Or the ones that turn your films into, here's your new Star Wars, that's not Star Wars, but like that, like build your fucking brands up. The ones that are responsible for your franchises being so big.
And I also don't understand this weird, like, pretentious gatekeeping in Hollywood these days, where you have all this fucking money, right? Why are you wasting time finding all the same people to write your shit? You have enough money, you could go on Reddit and get fan fictions. Find the best fan fiction out there and give that writer, what, 50 grand?
Dude,
And
where
go,
do you think...
and go, hey, we're taking your script, your fanfic, and we're going to make it into a movie. Here's 50 grand. Are you good with that? Don't ever call us again. We're taking it now, and you can tell people that it was adapted from your thing. That's fine. You'll get the notoriety. But you're not getting anything else. Yeah. And then if we make a sequel, then we'll bring you on to write it and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you have the money. Why not just go buy somebody who's passionate about this shit, not just some random ass person that you got contracted.
And the thing is too, like, they always promote, like, they'll go again with like these writers in Hollywood, and then they'll have to do like backstories on these writers, like, oh, this writer played with this fucking toy or read this comic when he was a kid or when she was a kid. It's like, I don't
means dick.
care. My kid did the same thing. He doesn't give a shit about the brand. It's like you have to be passionate enough to do that shit in your free time.
Look,
to
man,
know that
when I was
when I was like 6,
when I was like 5, my fucking sister had Barbie dolls. I had G.I. Joes because apparently I didn't know my gender yet. But I stole her fucking Barbie dolls so my G.I. Joes could make out with them. Because I played with a Barbie doll doesn't mean that I am versed enough to make a fucking Barbie fucking script. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Like, I don't care that you bought a costume when you were 10 or read a comic book. It's like, well, I read like 3 comic books when I was back in the day. I love Spider-Man. It's like, okay, cool.
Which version of Spider-Man, sir?
Exactly. And they're like, what? I know Uncle Ben dies. Isn't he like a box of rice? It's like, I hate you. Go die in a fire. Like,
why is he crying over a spilt box?
Oh, no. Oh, it's all dumb, Michael. And I'm sad. And I want to go. Can I go? Because I'm a nerd. I'm just going to go. I'm going to drive home and hang out in my mom's basement so I can cry about my nerd shit. Because apparently that's what we all do.
Yes, it is.
So speaking of, there's my solidarity right there. You got a new phrase for us this week, my man?
Yes, sir, I do.
God damn it. Well, in that case, I'm gonna leave you all to that, and hopefully he delivers. So for me, I'm going back to my basement. Later, nerds.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go.
I'm coming back from the basement. That sucked. Michael, I don't want to go back to Sony.
Thanks for tuning in to another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch this episode and more at soundcloud.com/Operation Babble or iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play at Operation Babble or YouTube at Myke Shrews, MYKESHREWS. Have a great day, guys. Peace.